I think WoW is still good. Yeah, let's check categories, yeah? Okay. WoW is still #1 MMO. Look, there's no MMO above. There's WoW, there's FF, and then there's Lost Ark. Dude, I hate this shit. I think WoW is
Nothing
still...
beats WoW. Listen to Thwe Hokage.
That's right. I think WoW is still... Okay, WoW's not the best MMO. I mean, it is the best MMO. There's no other good MMO that can compete with it. I think FF and Lost Ark is the only other two, right? And considering that FF has a new raid out too, it's pretty hype right now. Savix MMO when? I think the next MMO we're waiting for is... There's one called Blue Protocol. And there's one called... Liberty. Thrones of Liberty? What was it called, chat? League MMO? I don't know when it's gonna come out, man. I don't know when League MMO is gonna come out. Throne and Liberty. Dude, look at this. Me and Boney was looking at a screenshot of this game. Dude, this game looks insane. I mean, at least this screenshot, it looks good. Throne and Liberty, yeah. Throne and Liberty. This is the other one. Yeah, we don't know how it's gonna be, but appearance-wise, it looks pretty epic, man. This game will be ass. I still wanna try it. Even though if it's ass, I still wanna try it. I'm open to new MMOs, you know what I mean? I am open to it. And this is the other one, the Blue Protocol. It's like an anime version of an MMO. I think the betas are coming out for Japan in February. And yeah, they're both like around the corner for the beta stuff. It's around here. I wanted to play the Throne and Liberty, but Canon told me you have to come to Korea to play it. And I'm not gonna fly to Korea just to play the beta. That sounds ridiculous. You get to play like 2 days. Yeah. WoW has the worst graphic, it still beats them all. I don't think WoW has like worse graphic. I think WoW has its uniqueness in its own way. It's not like realistic. It's a little cartoony, but not too cartoony. Ours is playing Blue Archive. He is high for Blue Protocol. Okay. Fly to Korea, visit Coney and Canon. I think it's too early. February, man? Just to play that? Ashes of Creation React? Three months ago.
So I know most of you reading the title for this video are probably thinking I'm crazy, expecting Ashes of Creation to launch in 2023. Because looking at the development time of this game, it just kinda seems insane. They've been doing it for years, and it feels like there's no end in sight. But hear me out. Let's first point out that Ashes of Creation started its development way back in 2015 when Intrepid hired its first members to work on the game. So it's been at least 7 years of active development, and we have been seeing in-game footage of the world since 2017. So for a while now, I've had this theory that the world map is actually pretty complete for the game. I don't mean completely filled to the brim with content yet, but at least has its basic structures laid out. Which we even know is true because we've got the updated world map, and
MMO's hard to
Steven
make,
said that
man.
he took a lot of information out of this, giving details about
You gotta make a world, you gotta make a lore, you gotta make boss fights, you gotta make a balanced system. Dude, I feel like it's...
world. which we would assume this would mean like starting
Monk
zones
ass.
and dungeons and all of that. Also, in some of the older pre-alpha gameplay, we see a ton of the zones, some familiar, and a lot that we have not seen in any alpha testing or gameplay. And if you go through it, there is a huge amount of the world actually shown in the last 7 years. We even have seen the desert biome in its pre-alpha form way back in the Nodes 2 video, and I'm convinced that after 7 years, Intrepid has the majority of the map down when it comes to terrain, and the art department is just going through the phases now of updating the art. We have seen numerous dungeons through
I
environment
want to see the combat. Like, combat is important to me.
previews, gameplay, all the way from pre-alpha to alpha 1, and we have even seen the PvP arenas. Yes, a lot of this is from older footage, but they are built, and really all Intrepid would need to do is go back with the art team and update the textures and potentially add new props to meet the current standards. We have seen a lot of the core features working as well in the past. We saw sieges in Alpha 1, although not in open world yet in an instanced area. We do know that Intrepid has had castle sieges in the world at one point before Alpha 1 being tested. We've also seen nodes working up to stage 3 in Alpha 1, and Steven said a few months ago that all of node perks and building types for the 4 types of nodes have been done for a while and were in the testing phase. And if all the
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's in the
buildings
beta.
are done, then they more than likely have nodes working up through the Metropolis stages as well. If you haven't noticed, Intrepid does a lot of passes on the art department, making the game
Savix
look better
healing
and
right
better.
now?
We've seen this a few
No,
times.
I think when they're alone, it looks good, but when there's a lot of people, it looks kind of clunky.
A lot of the Alpha 1, although
It
not
looks messy, you know?
in an open world yet in an instanced area, we do know that for example, as Steven showed a few live streams ago, the
That looks
updated
cool.
models as they're going back through the older models and giving them a more
Maybe zoom
modern
too
look.
much.
And you can even see it from the Alpha 1 gameplay to the Alpha 2.
Maybe we just gotta stick with like one player games. I think MMOs are like.
As the world looks much better since it had the Unreal 5 switch. This really shows with the races as well.
Okay, this actually looks.
Humans alone seem to have gone through 4 phases that we know of, really showing the updates over the years, and we know a lot of the other races as well have had
Hello, Bad
updates
Touch.
this year alone, which leads to my next point of being the
Yo,
majority
it's
of the
Kaiser.
races at this point are either close to or implemented into the world of Vera. This is key for world development because you need these races in the games with the starting zones and the cities and all of that to make the world feel populated with the NPCs. And when I say complete, I don't mean they're
Gold.
100% customizable, but at least the base race is there. We have seen models for just about all of the races with the exception of the Tolnar, and we have yet to see the updated run
That's all the races. Okay. There's a lot. There's a vast majority.
Nikua and the humans, but we know they're coming very soon as we've seen the concept in the last streams. And I wouldn't be surprised.
That's me?
if
How
we
is that
see
me,
them
man?
Next month. We've also seen 5 out of 8 of the class archetypes so far, leaving out the rogue, the summoner, and the bard, and honestly, I would imagine this is one of the more challenging things to nail down, making sure each ability, each stat, and each animation all works properly together, along with being balanced out with the 64 class combination. We have even seen some of these combinations, such as the Weapon Master, which Steven was playing with in the basic melee weapon preview, and we've even seen the Scout way back in some pre-alpha
looks cool.
gameplay. So I imagine Intrepid has how they want each of these classes to perform pretty locked down at this point. Really, the only thing we're missing now is naval content, crafting, and the remaining classes from a feature standpoint that we know of. We know the world is already being filled with questing. There's questing in Alpha 1. They have caravans working, they have sieges working, they have the nodes working. The biggest feature I think that's left for Intrepid to nail down would be the naval content, and crafting following right behind it. So what exactly is holding up the game then? Well, I think hiring for one. If you follow
Ashes of
Ashes of
Creation.
Creation on social media, you'll know they have tons of jobs posted almost every week, and there have been
presentation.
a
Who's
few on there
Tyler?
that have
Why do
yet
they
to
keep
be
saying
filled
Tyler
even
for?
after months. And Margaret even tweeted
What's
those
Tyler
specific
one?
jobs
Tyler
on her
one is
personal
a-
Twitter
he's a
last night,
tipster
probably
man.
trying to get some more
Oh, I'm
traction on
sorry.
it. So if you need a job,
I
you know where to
didn't know
look.
that.
One of these
Yeah,
jobs,
it's
though,
okay.
is for the senior economy
Tyler
designer,
wants an
which the
equity.
economy
Real
will
life,
be
or
a
what is
big
it?
part of the game, and I can see this potentially holding up a bit of the development,
Oh
trying to get the
my
right
God.
personalities to get the economy nailed down. Combat
That's
is another
actually
system I think
hilarious.
that's holding this up. We've known for months now that combat is getting revamped, and we've seen the melee and the ranged combat updates, but there is no way Intrepid would even open up spot testing for Alpha 2 before this is finalized.
Oh
but
my
I imagine it's getting
God.
close now, and once that beast is out of the way, I think things will really start to speed up. Class spells and abilities are one of the big things that will need fine-tuning and plenty of player input, which we won't be able to test properly until the combat is finished. But you can bet this will be a big part of the testing. Alpha 2 will be a huge deal when it comes to the promotion for the game, from content creators and bringing new people on board, so you want this game to be as polished as it can be going into Alpha 2. The Alpha will obviously still have bugs and unfinished features, but not as much as Alpha 1, because this is really the big reveal to the world that the game is working as promised. Alpha 2 is said to be persistent through launch as well, so you really want things to be semi-polished before the Alpha even starts, as you don't want to be stuck in the Alpha stages forever, or people will lose interest, especially when you have the majority of the content shown throughout YouTube. So my theory here, and bear with me, it's just a theory, but I bet we'll see Alpha testing dates announced in December for quarter
WoW
1 of
Classic will come out
2023.
before Ashes.
Obviously, it'll be persistent from here, and the game will be constantly being updated throughout the Alpha 2 and tweaked as they listen to feedback. And I bet this will happen.
How is
quarter
New World?
2,
Is there
and
people
in
still
quarter
playing
3
New
of
World?
2023, we will get betas 1 and 2. It's even said that the beta phases will be short and sweet. At this point, the betas are the final polish stage of the game, and the game will be pretty
that'll be
close
looks
to
cool.
done, which would lead to the launch window being somewhere in quarter 4 of 2023. I'm sure I won't convince a lot of you, but I am very confident that once the combat is done by the end of this year, things will really
That
start
looks
to
cool.
move quickly through Alpha 2. Do you think we'll see the launch of Ashes of Creation next year? Drop a comment down below, and if you're new to
Just
Ashes and
spamming
you have
that
a great
up.
account, feel free to use my referral link in the description below, where you can jump in on the forums, buy some cosmetics, or just be ready for when the game finally launches. Otherwise, be sure to click that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, turn on the bell for notifications, and stay tuned for a lot more to come.
Okay. Quinn died again? Oh. I saw this one yesterday.
Oh shit! Here we go! Oh my god! What is happening? Oh shit! I got the giant spear! Holy shit! That's good, right? That's good, right? Holy shit!
Wait, why are you guys saying easy scam?
Holy shit! Oh my god! What?
Dude, I've never heard Alexander Batchers this hard in my life.
I got them both! Oh shit!
That's insane, man.
Oh my god!
Holy moly.